What you expect? You expected me not to come back? What you expected? I'm right here. Setups. We're gonna get to the data. All right. Standing on business. And God is my witness. Yeah, standing on my business. God is my witness. Yeah, standing on my business. Yeah, God is my witness. Yeah, standing on my business. Yeah, God is my witness. Yeah, standing on my business. And why is my witness? Yeah, standing on business. And why is my witness? Yeah, we standing on business. And why is my witness? Yeah, we standing on business. I feel that's a song that I'm gonna make. Standing on business. And why is my witness? Yeah, we standing on business. Anyways, that must be a song that I'm gonna be making up in the future. I like the hook. Standing on business. And why is my witness? Yeah, standing on business. I like that. I like that. That just popped through. Thank you. Like shares and everything that everyone's coming here with, right? So we got another broadcasting. I know y'all looking at me like, bro, you've been consistent. We've been seeing you more often. Consistency, baby. One time. For the people that are doing self-destruction, I love you. For the people that are doing self-uplifting, I love you too. With that being said, we got an important video, right? And some things that we want to reveal about what's going on with family. You know what I'm talking about? If you're going to be positive and negative, it's okay. I love both parties, okay? Negativity, you can put your comments in. Positivity, you can put your comments in too. All right? Y'all have a great one with yourselves while you're speaking to yourselves in the comment section. Moving right along here. So, you have an artificial holiday that is coming up for the artificial people. I said that to your tech. You can back out of this broadcasting. This is not the knowledge that is for artificial people. Understand that? Only about 10% of y'all will be saved, and actually 90% will be deleted. Understand where we're going at? High-tech data. With that being said, we're about to get into something. The reason why I said they are artificial families, based on the artificial ingredients that you eat. That's why you're an artificial family. It's not a shot if the truth is actually in reality, okay? You eat artificial ingredients. Artificial A, ingredients I. You understand? So as an AI, you wouldn't understand the intelligence of who I am, okay? All right. You can't get mad at me or what I know. You might want to pay attention to your own conscience and your own body of what you're installing, okay? Food comes down to information and data, okay? Or you can be fooled by the information and data that's within inside the food, okay? All right. Now let's get into this great video for myself or whatever the case may be. I seen this video on YouTube. And I kind of wanted to definitely talk about this because a lot of people, right, are going through this in this present moment, okay? All right, let's get into this. This is a beautiful video. I'm just being honest. It's a beautiful video because it speaks directly about the topic of what I'm speaking about. Let me say this. You have two people, right? You have one person that is accepted by the family, and you have one person that is not accepted by the family. But you have to understand, why are they not being accepted by the AI family? There you go. I'm trying to tell you. What happens if you break out the system? How you think your family that is AI is going to respond to you? How you think they're going to respond to you? This is how they're going to respond to you right here. As soon as you break out the system, this is how they treat you. Hold on. Let's get this work. Let's get this work. This is how they're going to treat you right here, okay? A lot of y'all going to be afraid to jump away from your artificial families, okay? Y'all staying there. You're doing great. Anyways, let me tell you.
Oh, boy. I'm not part of the family? No! You don't act right, you're not part of the family!
What did he say? He said, you're not, the father said to the son, you're not part of the family, right? The son said, I'm not part of the family. He said, no, if you're not going to act right. Can I ask you a question? When you install artificial ingredients, right, inside the technology of vessel in mind, how are you going to act based on the information and data that's installed? How are you going to act? You're going to act AI. Thank you. So can I ask you a question? Is it that the son no longer wants to obey the AI system? And maybe that's the reason, not maybe, that's the reason why he's being kicked from the family? Huh? The things that people are trying to hide, you can't hide them. We are in a reality check of revealance of everything, okay? So get to hide it. Get to hiding things, put them underneath your cubbies and try to hide it as much as you want to. But everything's being revealed underneath the solar energy that we call the sun, okay? Everything's being revealed. You can try to hide your skeletons in your closet, but it ain't really working, right? So what's starting to happen is that you have families that are AI computer generated. How is that able to play out? Based on the AI ingredients that you eat. You eat from artificial ingredients. So how are these not AI families? How are these real families, baby? How is we supposed to put our emotional system into these families if they all AI? It's in front of us. The news is not shocking when you already doing it. This ain't nothing brand new that I'm talking about. This is just something that I'm aware of. And then bring it to your attention so you can understand the game. These are not your real family members. Based on the information and data that they installed inside the technology of their vessels. Okay? So you got to understand, is your family consist of AI? And if that's truthful, what happens is, based on who you are, that's being truthful, they're supposed to reject you. They're supposed to do that. They're not supposed to embrace you. They're not going to embrace you. Do you know why? Do you know why they're not going to embrace you? Are they embracing the same energy that you're embracing? Okay, then. So that shows you right then and there. That shows you right then and there when it comes to family or whatever the case may be. If they're not embracing the same energy that you're embracing and the same information and data that you're embracing, then y'all will be disconnected to yourselves. Understand that 90% of Americans do not eat produce. Do you know why they don't do that? Because it consists of information and data from the sun. 90% of people in America are soulless. So why would they eat things that have solar energy within it? Setups. How you going to heaven and you got no light in you? Thank you. Bye. Think about that. You're going to heaven based on you eating artificial ingredients. So I guess the people that consume produce is going to hell. Right. If I'm making you think too much, shut off your brain from actually thinking and get back into the programming. Thinking would be building you up. I'm not trying to tear you down, but I know with a lot of humanoids, right? When I say that word, you're going to go somewhere else anyway. A lot of humanoids, they don't like to think. So I'm making you think right now. So I don't want to make you think. So just shut off your thoughts pattern. Just shut it off. That way, right, you can go back into the matrix that I designed. You got it? It's okay. Everyone likes it. Everyone fucking likes it. All right? So go back in there. It's okay. All right. So, back to what I was saying again, right? So, what you have to understand with your family, right, is that all of these consciousness, the minds, are they in connection with the information and data of artificial ingredients? What you have to understand is that majority of 90% of people in America, right, consist of nothing more than artificial ingredients is inside their tag. So, how could the mind of the people actually be real? How? How could the actions be real? Okay? What's happening is a lot of people are afraid of the resilience that we're going through. A lot of people are going to ignore it, and I would prefer them to. I would not want them to listen to me. Okay? All right. I am the 10%. They are the 90%. You understand? There's a difference. So you got to understand you have certain ones that have souls, and you have certain ones that are nothing more than AI. That's what you have to understand. The AI is only invented to keep the solar world away from the planet. That's it. It's just as much as people. They're the same thing. They're a reflection of the moon. They are not a reflection of the sun. Understand that the moon is nothing more than an artificial computer generated conscious. They will simply tell you that the moon, pay attention to my setup, they will simply tell you that the moon is a natural satellite. How is the moon a natural satellite if it's blocking the solar energy of the sun? That's natural. Okay, so what you have to understand is that, right, just goes from timeline to timeline, and you can't take it out. You just can't, right? What you have to understand is that this is the God Thoth. A lot of people are inside of a lot of people are inside of a Christianity, I guess, timeline, but the Egyptian timeline still plays because Christianity is nothing more than a knockoff towards how can I say Egyptians. Yeah, the cross, that's a knockoff from the Ankh. The knowledge and everything, the stories, all that's a knockoff from the Egyptians. Christians are nothing more than a knockoff of Egyptians. That's it. They're not the real variation. You understand? Okay. So what you have to understand is that in Egyptian time frames, you cannot ask the humans, how did the moon exist? They can't answer that. But they can synchronize the technology of their minds and connect with the moon. They don't know how to. Okay? So what you have to understand is that the God of technology is the God of Thoth. These are the gods that exist within the Egyptian time frame. The Egyptian time frame still plays today. It does not stop. Just because you try to cover it up, it doesn't mean it stops, okay? Understand that the Egyptian time frame is also connected to the spiritual realm. So the spiritual realm, just because you can't see with your physical eyeballs, it doesn't mean that it's not playing. Okay? So what you got to also understand is that you have the Father. You have the Father and you have the Son, right? The Father, some people call Horus, some people call Ra, right? He's the father of all the Egyptian gods. Without him, you get no one else. Okay? Now, the Son is Thoth. One of his sons is named Thoth. He's the god of technology. He knows exactly how technology goes, how it's been to his will, and everything else. Okay? Now, this is the thing about this whole situation, right? What people have to understand is that the technology of your vessel is technology, for one. Okay? AI and the conscious of AI cannot understand itself as technology. The AI has converted its own mind into a system of being a human. How are you a human being, right? If the information and data, right, does not create you to be human, but it only creates you to be artificially intelligent. So to me, how I'm looking at the word human, it looks like it's a word that is to deceive you, right? Because if you're that, right, how is it that you're eating the same intelligence that synchronized the technology of your mind with the moon? Okay? So you got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? You got to understand that. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I guess somebody asking some questions today on minds. Anyways, right? Like I was saying before, a lot of people don't understand that a lot of things is being revealed in this present time. Okay. And what you got to understand is that how things are playing, it's not really playing the way it's playing. You know what I'm saying? Now we hear things like on the news, we hear things about what other people are talking about, right? But this is what I gotta ask a question to, right? How is it that in this time frame, right? I just kind of find it strange to me, right? Some people would say, yo, the shit that they talking about on the TV, that shit ain't real. This is that and the third. Now I hear you. I hear you. I do. I hear you. I'm not saying everything on the TV is actually real. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is this. This is what I'm saying. What happened if there's something that's bigger than human beings that's already here? You see, human beings want to have a belief system to believe like it ain't nothing bigger than us. We the only creations on this earth. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's got to be a lie. Because of the simple fact, let's just pay attention here to the information and data. If it was just human beings just on the earth, right? How is it that the sun is able to orbit around the earth? How is that? What, just because you dumb it down and say it's just the sun? It's just the sun, that's just what it does. No, that's a consciousness. So for me, what's being revealed is human beings try to make a belief system that they the only ones that exist. In all reality, that's a lie. They can't be the only creation. That's a lie. They can't be the only creation. It had to be somebody that came before them a long time ago in order to make them exist. And anyone can see, like, yeah, this is not the word that you think it is. You think like everyone is like born out the womb and all. No, some of these people are AI computer generated. That's it. You wouldn't know because on the simple fact, if you're in the third dimension of consciousness, you can't see past it. It's already installed in here. It's like, okay, it's like you saying, I want to see past the third dimension. How are you going to see past the third dimension if you only install information and data from the third dimension? Thank you. The third dimension consists, just being real with you, the third dimension, when it comes to knowledge and information, you got to always understand that you're going to try to pay attention to this. You'll receive information and data from a book. You'll receive information and data from what? A laptop, right? But not actually understanding, right? What is the natural way of receiving information and data? Thank you. All those ways that you are using, it keeps your mind out of receiving information and data from the planet. Human beings only receive information, and I'm going to show you how they learn. They only learn, they don't remember. They are AI computer generated conscious that doesn't know pretty much anything. So what happens is the way they learn is through, let me show you. They learn through other people's minds. Let me show you. You see the books? How does that book create it? Whatever that projects from one person's mind is now being written down on a piece of paper. Now, understand, what's on a piece of paper comes down in forms of information and data, right? Now, what you have to understand is while you're reading, the technology of your eye is analyzing, recording the data of what you are viewing, and now transferring what you just read into the memory bank of your mind. How is it your mind, right? If I could transfer information and data from someone else's mind now into your mind and now into their belief system, not the belief system of what you created, but the belief system what somebody else created. Thank you. So you have to understand, as AI, it just follows. It's not a leader to itself. The moon is not a leader to itself at all. Because if that was the case, as human beings, as the conscious that y'all have as the moon, you would understand like, yeah, human beings and the moon don't even mean shit. They don't. Because as a whole, y'all are trying to block out, try, that's the key word, try to block out the superconscious. What's better than y'all? Understand that most people are nothing more than projections of the moon. The reason why I say that is because whenever a projection of the sun comes about, you will see that the people from the moon, they pay attention, they like to go into their own mind and tell their own mind, this person's this, that, this, and such. What you have to understand is that everyone that is connected to the moon is able to deceive their self in order to try to deceive you. Do you understand? You have two creations that's here, okay? Consciousness that project from the moon, conscious that projects from the sun. You can lie to yourself as an AI. We don't give a fuck. Okay? So, with that being said, or whatever the case may be, right? What humans have to understand with us, we are not humans. That's not what we are. Everyone wants us to be like that because you feel like you got control. The minute that I project that I'm not a human being, your control loses. Got it? I'm not a human being. That's not what I am. I would never want to be a human being. A human being, right, in the memory system of a human being is very nasty. Everything consists of being fake, actually putting a fake lens over their eyes. What lens am I talking about? I am talking about the information and data. The information and data comes down to artificial ingredients. Those artificial ingredients refer to the word AI. Don't AI have a lens? Okay, so if you install artificial ingredients that stand for AI inside the technology of your vessel and mine, what lens do you think you're looking at? Y'all all looking from an AI lens. Y'all just upset as humans that someone's revealing it. That's all. You'll see. Watch your actions and what you do with the information. Don't get mad at me. I'm gonna keep being me, baby. I'm gonna keep on being me. Okay. What you have to understand is that majority of human beings are created to hate themselves. It's called self-hate before you get to hate. Okay. It's called self-hate before you get to hate. You understand? All right. Now let me show you. I'll show you two parties that both have hate for themselves. I'll show you. Self-hate, right? If you self-hated on yourself, would you properly identify, right, with your truthful identity? Think about that. If you're in the process of self-hate, would you identify with your true identity? Think. Let's pay attention to someone in both parties that practice self-hate upon themselves. Okay? Come on. So, you have these two nations of people. One is called black, right? And one is called white. Can I ask you a question? Are the both of these parties practicing self-hate upon themselves? You would simply be like, no, they're not practicing self-hate. Can I ask you a question? If your DNA gives you forms of information and data to the technology of your mind that put you in the knowing of who you are you supposed to call yourself just a color? Your DNA is giving you the truth, but the color that you pick is a lie. I love you as a liar, though. I do. So nice as a liar. So what you have to understand is that, let's just pay attention. Is the identity of black truthful? It can't be. The reason why that is because God had said people will perish to the lack of knowledge. When you say black to me, I am not AI, so I can see past the delusion that you actually see. I see something that says be black. I don't see black. I see be black within the forms of information and data of your DNA. How you listen to Kendrick Lamar and he makes a song DNA and you can identify with your DNA? I love you people. The reason why I love y'all is because y'all self-lies to yourselves. Bye-bye. Now, most people would say, you know, why do, certain things happen or whatever the case may be, right? And I would simply say to you, if you identify as a lie, the actions of lie will play on you. If you identify as the truth, then the action of truth will play for you. When you simply say to me that I am a black man, I would simply reject it based on intelligence, not ignorance. Okay? What you have to understand is that most black people want to claim me. I do not claim them. Okay? The minute that I say I am not a black man, the reason why I'm telling you that is because my DNA tells me that I'm not a man at all. So, am I supposed to copy the humanoid program that projects from the technology and the consciousness of the moon in order to project inside of humanoids? Because humanoids are designed to be liars to themselves. They're designed to be mirrors and lies of themselves. That way, the mirrors of the suns do not copy. Thank you. You understand that, right? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. A lot of people don't even understand what's even going on in front of them, bro. As AI, these worldly events, right? I keep telling people all the time, depending on how you identify, either the truth is going to play or the lies are going to play. Okay. Now I'm gonna show you something that a lot of people don't think about none of this shit at all. They just don't. Now, one time, right? I was watching something, and what I was watching was it was a black male, and he got pulled over by a police officer, right? Now let's pay attention here. In this world, if you identify as black, you are identified as a lie in a computer generated conscious. That's it. You're not identifying as a real character. You're not. Okay? Now, this is the thing. In the video, you see that the black man, that's what he is today, right? He doesn't have any self-identity, no self-identity. He doesn't. He's just still in the process of fighting himself. Just the way I left him. Anyways, right? So, what you got to understand is that when it comes to self-identifying, when you are self-identified as yourself, the truth will play out for you. If you identify as a liar, then the lies will play out for you. Let me show you what's going on that I don't give a fuck about. You will see certain videos, right, that you're not seeing no more. Notice that you're not really seeing too many videos of, people being shot by the police. Notice that you're not seeing that too much, right? All right, but I want to show you something why it is approved to do certain things. I know you're gonna look at me like I'm crazy, and it's okay, but you gotta look at yourself, okay, and what you accept. Let's just say you wanted to identify, right? And let's just say you wanted to identify as someone that is not really truthful to themselves. Let's say you identify yourself as a black man, right? You can identify as that, but can I ask you a question? Do your DNA identify you as that? Thank you. That's what your enemy understands. Your enemy understands the game that if you identify as a lie, I can do lies on you. Yes, that's truthful. Your enemy understands that though. Okay? You may not want to understand. It's okay. It's good that your enemy understands it because of the simple fact they can use certain things that they know in other worlds to their will and get away with it. Okay? So, let's pay attention. There's a black male, right? He gets pulled over by a white cop, right? The white cop comes up to the window. The black man rolls the window down. He asks him, hey, I need your identification card, right? The black male, pay attention. the black male gives him the identification card. The reason why this white male is looking at your identification card to see if you're going to identify as a lie in order to generate the fakeality of lies that are going to be played out on you. Understand? Understand that when you identify as the truth, certain things is not going to play out on you. When you identify as a lie, a lot of things will play out on you. Okay? That I don't disagree with. Okay? All right. So let's get into this. Black male hands the white male his identification or identification card, right? When he hands him that, the white male is looking at the identity to see if he's going to identify as himself or as a lie today. Okay? Okay? That's what's going on. Okay? Now, this is what I would simply say. Most people that identify as themselves, ain't nothing happening to them. But most people that identify as a lie, right? They usually feel as though it's wrong of what happened to them, but you identifying as a lie. I mean, you're saying that you are a certain color, but it doesn't fit in your DNA. I'm just trying to figure out. And then I'm supposed to copy the lie of your mind into my mind so I can be a lie too. Right. It's quite funny, isn't it? What you have to understand, right, is that even within civil rights, those are nothing rights. Those are nothing more than rights in order to back the AI variations of what they are. That's it. Okay? Everyone know when you're operating with soul, you already have solar rights. You're not going to be fighting for no civil rights. You're going to be fighting for your solar rights. The solar rights come down to soul and everyone knowing, and the copy, right? The copyright from your right brain to the left mind. That's what that is. Now, let me show you another thing that the human beings had did collectively. All of them had did. Even black people too. Let me get back to one point. Let me get back to this and then we get to the other point. So let's just say the cop, right? He picks up, your identification card. He looks at the identification card. He noticed that you are identifying as a lie. My question to this so-called black male, is it okay for the action of lies to play out on you today? He would simply say no. Well, how you want that to stop if you identify as a lie? You believe in people as a lie. You never go within yourself and search if the lie was actually truthful. Thank you. So, black people as a whole, or white people, or brown people, y'all all suffer because in the simple fact, your identities of lies is not truthful. You understand? All three of y'all are nothing more than liars to your own DNA system. This is why I don't hang around humanoid programs. How are you brown when your DNA don't say you brown? How you white when your DNA don't say you white? And how you black, be black, right? When your DNA don't even say that. So all three of these nations are nothing more than liars to yourselves. Setups. You're talking about AI is not real. I'm watching the AI sitting here just lying to themselves. And didn't expect to get a real reality by identifying as a lie to themselves. No, your DNA is the one that identifies you. As an AI, right? You don't know nothing in this realm. So, that's lie number one. That has nothing to do with no one else. We caught that. Okay? So, they lied about their identity systems, all three nations. Yeah. And then they say, oh no, we fight for ourselves. No, y'all actually fighting on the same team. All three of y'all are liars to yourselves. So how y'all not on the same team? That's why when people be like, no, black and white people ain't the same team. How they not on the same team if they're both liars to the DNA of their self? What you mean? How you don't see that? How you don't see that? How you don't see that? You telling me, this is what you telling me. You telling me, how you doing? You telling me, right, that when it comes to these three different nations, you are saying there are three different nations. How are they three different nations, right? When all three of those nations are liars to themselves, they're on the same team, which is lies. Like people don't see that. People don't see that. Y'all be making me laugh out here now. Y'all do. Y'all be out here. Y'all be mad with God when God catch up consciously like, what are you? I'm a black man. How are you a black man when your DNA don't say you're black? How? And then I'm your brother and I'm supposed to believe in the lies that you believe in so I can become the lie too, right? That's the whole program, man. Ain't it right? I know. This program is funny. It is. Don't ever call me a black man. My DNA does not identify as a black man. It's no disrespect, but it's nothing more than the truth that's within me. Okay? All right now. God is rejecting all AI consciousness and AI memories. That's what we doing. Yeah, you can't get mad at God because you know who he is. You can't get mad at that. You know? I'm going to tell you another thing they want me to trick myself to. Come here. I'm going to tell you what they tell me to do. I'm going to tell you what they try to tell me to do. Come here. Come here. What does it say inside your Bible that the true image of the Christ is that you're going to ignore? I got set up for all y'all. It's so funny. Anyways, it said that the real Christ, right, is eyes of flame, hair of wolf, skin of bronze. But we caught human beings actually trying to change the image of the Christ. We caught them doing that for the second time. When they went into debt for us the first time, they said, we'll give you our souls. That way that could be a payment. And we knew that they could not change without their souls. So that's why we took. This world gonna go straight to hell in a handbasket. Okay? Just notice that your great ancestor did it to you, okay? The one that you've been programmed to hate so much, all right? You have fun down there while you can, okay? All right. Tell you about some sighted things that happened to your people in past life and that it happened again today. It happened to everybody, all right? Y'all designed to hate the real Christ, ain't that right? All right now. Actually, the Bible was actually speaking about what human beings was doing. Human beings think they're supposed to follow the script of the Bible, right? I know. Come here. It says right here that the original Christ that you would never accept, and Christ would never accept y'all either, eyes of flame, hair wolf, skin of bronze. Can I ask you a question? Is that the same image of Jesus? So human beings didn't change the image of the Christ. We didn't catch y'all doing that again? Huh? Oh, now don't look spooky now. You wasn't looking spooky when y'all was changing the image of the Christ, right? Because y'all hate the truth. Y'all hate the truth of Christ, don't y'all? I know, baby. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It's just that the truth coming out. Why you people ain't proudful that y'all hate the real Christ? Why you not proud for it? It's like y'all cowering away, like we don't want no one to know that. Why you talking about that, bro? That's supposed to be secret. How is it secret if you put it inside the Bible? How is it secret if you put it in the Bible? For your ancestors to read. Huh? You put it in the Bible for your ancestors to read. Ain't this the belief system? Hold on now. So we invented their pill tech, right? Their technology does not get accepted by the solar energy of the sun. They get rejected too. Do you understand? We designed them to be workers, and y'all wanted to follow them so y'all can be workers in AI too. Do you understand? You understand, as the great ancestors, we still have control over everything, right? We build you an illusion. The one ancestor that you think that got murdered upon that cross, that was a dream that he projected through all of you. This this game that I was playing, this shit was so funny. They was thinking, this is how they was thinking. They was like, nah, he gotta be dead. How the fuck is hold on, sit-ups. How the fuck is he dead, right? When the AI image of Christ that you call Jesus Christ, he could turn people back from they was dead back to life. So if he could turn someone that is actually dead back to life, how the fuck did he die? I'm laughing at human beings. This shit funny, bro. I know. So how did the real Christ die, right? He can change someone that's dead back to life. How did the real Christ die again? I'm not understanding. It's kind of starting to look like he just gave these people an illusion. God damn. I mean, in order to conquer death, you have to conquer death with yourself first in order to beat death with someone else. Let me show you what I mean. Remember the first Matrix? Right? Remember Neo? Remember Neo had seen a vision or a dream that we all get to view, right? Where he seen that Trinity got shot, right? And Trinity died in his arms. And then he went within her, right, and brought her back to life. That's not the same thing as Jesus. Shoot your shit up. That's not the same thing? No? Oh. Huh? The thing is this. Neo can't be that color because Morpheus is the father towards him. Thank you. The game be funny around here, don't it? Until you meet a high-tech soul like me. All humans have been programmed in order to ignore the real image of the Christ and to hate the image of the Christ. My mission is accomplished. It is. Imagine you thinking that God, right, is just God. And then you thinking that the devil is just the devil. But everyone knows that, yeah, both of them is the same entity. Both of them the same entity. Let me show you how things get generated in this world, okay? People like to separate light from darkness and not actually understanding that the both of them mingle with each other, okay? What you have to understand in this sequence is this. You have people that they call them like devils or demons and shit, right? They're really not devils and demons. They actually operate with God. That's what you got to understand. Some people call them hell angels, right? That's what they call them. So can I ask you a question? What happened if God had two forms of angels? Angels that heal you, right? And angels that actually destroy shit. Makes perfect sense to me if you ask me. I mean, shit, we got one that heals, we got another one that destroys things. Great. So, can I ask you a question? They always talk about these dark angels all the time, right? When do the dark angels appear on Earth? Because they always come here all the time. No matter if you want to say, no, they just don't appear in your third dimension. Your third dimensional view, they are not going to appear right there. Okay? You'll never see them. Do you know why? Because your vision is stuck within the third dimension. Do you know why your vision is stuck within the third dimension? Pay attention to the setup. In order to have a higher dimension of consciousness, of view, you need a higher form of information and data. The only information and data that you are eating is artificial ingredients. Artificial ingredients is nothing more than AI. In order to dumb down the technology of mind, in order to keep the eye within the third dimension. Setups. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. I'm the wrong one to play with. Keep your mind trapped underneath a blue code spell. Yeah, looking at me like, how the fuck you know that? Shit. Might want to look at me a little bit better, blood. Might want to look at me real well. This is not something that you can learn from a college. Is your college professor talking to you like that? No. Is your school teacher talking to you like that? No. Is your pediatrician going to talk to you like that? No. What about your physician? No. So you got to ask yourself, if you want a higher form of consciousness, right? Pay attention to the setup. If you want a higher form of consciousness, you got to understand that the mind, right here, right? This device is designed to hold information and data. That is not the only functionality, okay? That's just one that we're speaking about. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. In order for your mind, right, to be efficient, to be accountable, to be the best, what do you need to do with it? Do you need to install information and data of self-destruction, or do you need to actually install information and data that's uplifting? Remember, you, right, operates this controller all the time, or you can do what everyone else do. No, I don't. Somebody else control it. Thank you. Give me your fucking power. Now, what you have to understand is that this mind, right? I'm going to show you. Do you remember the psychedelic act? I'm going to show you what happened with human beings that we can understand what they were doing. You remember the psychedelic act? What did I tell you with your conscious? In order to have a higher conscious, you need higher forms of information and data. That's what I told you. That naturally come from the planet. Do you know what human beings did to the Garden of Eden? The Garden of Eden has forms of information and data in order to put you in a higher consciousness. Everything that's in the Garden of Eden comes down to produce higher intelligence in order to produce the intelligence of your own mind. Setups. Now let's pay attention to what you don't know that human beings have done. Okay? Human beings wanted to come out with a psychedelic act. Pay attention to how they move. Watch. I said psychedelic act. That is called the Nixon Act. Do you know what the Nixon Act is? As soon as I say the word psychedelics, you start acting like Nixon again. Oh shit! That's some crazy shit! Oh shit! Now actually understanding the reason why Nixon would act like that is because he knew people of this skin tone, they are naturally connected to the planets, naturally. And the planets and the functionality of the planet is that it holds information and data and transfer information and data to our children. Setups. So when you're looking at President Nixon Act, right? He is basically saying, pay attention to humanoid programs. He and everyone that's backing him with every other color, right, is saying Mother Nature is a drug dealer. Setups. Fuck wrong with your tech. You said that psychedelics is drugs, but psychedelics naturally come from the planet. So what you are saying as a humanoid program is that you don't have enough intelligence as AI to understand what Mother Nature is. Setups. This is what happened. You're saying psychedelics is a drug, but the information and data naturally come from the planet. So are you labeling the planet as a fucking drug dealer? Okay, human programs, just how sick y'all are. Y'all dead. You're telling me psychedelics is bad. Okay, if psychedelics is bad, right? And you're saying that the natural mushrooms that come from Earth that Mario is eating in front of you, those are drugs too? As AI, y'all don't know nothing on the Earth, bro. This shit is funny to me. You literally got people walking around here like, psychedelics is a bad thing. How can I ask you a question? Have you ever tried it? Like, no. So how are you going to lie to the technology of your mind if you never experienced it? Setups. And did not even understand the ignorancy of humanoid minds when it comes to higher forms of information and data. If you go look up psychedelics, it's going to literally tell you like, oh yeah, this information is actually to expand your consciousness. Expand your consciousness out of the third dimension. That's why everybody's stuck in there. The way they learn is they read. The way I learn and remember is receiving information and data from the planet. A human doesn't have a conscience to understand that, even though it's doing it in front of itself. That's what it's doing. You know what I mean? Don't look at me like, no, I'm not being anything that you think I'm being. Okay? I'm telling you the truth of what human beings became. Do you understand? Okay. Now, human beings are only designed to do one thing and one thing only. That is to go against life. Let me show you. Pay attention to the information and data that's installed. Okay? There are two informational sources when you come to the store, right? You have two informational sources. Can I ask you a question? If you said that humans love God, why don't they eat the intelligence of God that is provided, which is produce? The original gods deal with all natural elements, including AI as too. I think human beings think that, okay, we're going to build this separate conscious from God. God is the one that created your AI's conscious. So he knows how to destroy it too. Want me to show you? Come here. You see this God right here? This is Thoth. He's the sun. He's the one that knows everything about technology. He's the God of technology. Do you know he's the God that actually created the moon? Dude, if he created it, then that means he knows how to destroy it. Setups! Don't play with my tech. What's happening with your tech, baby? What's happening with your tech? What's up? It's easy. Didn't they say in the Bible? Pay attention to the setup. I'm going to give you 333 in front of you. Watch. I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to give you 333 in front of you. You call those angel codes, right? I'm going to give you 3. Watch. Pay attention to my setup. In the Bible, it says that God is going to destroy the yolk, right? When we look at eggs, right? What's in the middle of it? Yolk, right? But on the outside, it is the color of what? What color is it? It refers to the moon. I'm not done with my 333. That was 133, okay? Now this is 233. Do you understand that I have white people outside, right, playing golf with a white ball, right, that they hit that is a representation of their consciousness that they're knocking out of the park? You can't see that, can you? I know. You thinking they're playing golf, don't you? I know, I see something totally different. You see baseball? Why is the ball always white? And why is the ball always being knocked out of the park? Why is the moon always white? Why does it look like a ball and always being knocked out of the park? Setups. You understand where their consciousness is going at? All right. You understand? Or if you wanted to say gold and silver. Some people say that the moon is silver. Some people say that. But understand that gold, right? The sun. Without the sun, you wouldn't have no moon. You definitely wouldn't. The reason why that is because of the simple fact the sun was the teacher to the moon. Understand that the God that you see behind you right here is Thoth. He is the son of Horus that you call Ra. He is the teacher. He is the teacher of the moon. But guess what the moon wanted to do? I want to break off from the program of their sun and do my own thing. Guess what happens? Guess what happens? You heard what God said, right? What did God say he was going to do? Break the yolk, right? Okay. When you look at an egg, isn't it white? Okay. Isn't the moon white? Okay, then what you think going to get broken? The AI that everyone is synchronized to. Go watch my movie called Sail, you'll understand. Shit. You'll understand. Now, let's pay attention. You would say, this is what you're going to go do. You're going to go try to debunk my claims of what I'm going to say, right? I know what you're going to do. Come here, let me show you something. Go grab your phone. Go look up the moon, right? And you're going to say to me, you're going to be like, bro, they don't say that the moon is an AI computer-generated conscious. It says that the moon is a natural satellite. Understand the demons that are within you are deceiving you and trying to deceive me. Can you control them, sir? Can you control it? Try to control that shit, okay? Try to control that shit, okay? You saying that the moon, right, is a natural satellite. How is it a natural satellite if it's blocking out if it's trying to block out the information and data of the sun? Thank you. You said natural. The sun is natural. The intelligence of the sun, the projection of the sun is all natural. So if this is a natural satellite, why is it blocking out? Why is it trying to block out the natural information and data that's projected from the sun into the earth? If you pay attention to the moon, you'd be like, yeah, the moon don't even have no great purpose. It just don't. It don't. What purpose does it actually have in order to block? If you pay attention to the people support the shit. Yeah, they pay attention. They support the shit because they never say anything about it. That's how you know they supporting the shit. If you tell them, pay attention. If you tell them like, yo, such and such going on, this, that, and third, and then they looking at you like, oh, you strange and shit. What's wrong with you? Like, what? I'm strange? Bitch, this shit happening in front of us. Bitch, what are you talking about? I'm strange? Oh, because I'm a soul and my technology is more enhanced than the AI humanoid program, right? And then AIs are very narcissistic human beings. Yeah, this is what they like to do. Let's just say you see something outside of that third dimensional box that they're in, right? And you like, yeah, I see this. You know what the third dimensional program going to do? It's going to deceive its own mind. Do you know why? Because it's only invented to be in the third dimension of consciousness. If you unplug these people from the third dimension and you plug them up to the fourth dimension, you be like, bro, they all committed suicide. I told you this. Don't play with me. I already know this shit. Human beings are trying to force themselves, right? And stay within the third dimension. Let me show you, okay? I have a brother that's no longer my brother no more, right? He had some dreams, right? Where he was basically helping himself become himself more, right? Instead of him following his own dreams, he started to follow what most black men follow. I need to be envious of myself. I need to hate myself. I need to hate my brother. I need to shoot him down and do the Nipsey. That's what you got as a black man, right? This is why I tell the black man, stay away from me, sir. Stay away from me, sir. We are not brothers today, sir. We're not. Based on the self-destruction you are doing to yourself, that self-destruction will be transferred to me. Don't look at me of not accepting you as my brother. Look at your own mind and how you not accepting yourself, brother. So don't ever get the game twisted with me. When I say I'm not a black man and I don't have any of the black man belief systems, understand I can't be the black man if the black man wants to fight me. Thank you. Why would I hold on to an identity that an identity is designed to literally be self-destructful towards itself? I can't operate in that field. You understand? So what he has to understand with himself is that they program you, right, the black man, to be an enemy towards yourself in order to be an enemy towards your brother. Now, I know a lot of people want to say, every black man not the same. I hear what you say, right? I hear what you say. I hear what you say. Okay? I hear what you say, but if you don't want no one to have that point of view, then change the point of view of yourselves. There you go. Don't wait for me to do it. And what I can simply say, it's not just him, it's a lot of men, Puerto Rican men too. What it comes down to is that it's a self-reflection thing, okay? A lot of men, I'm just being honest, I don't know why they do this to themselves. This is why I stopped coming around a lot of people more often. For some reason, when I come around men, a lot of things are being revealed about them that I just did not know, right? Where I'm actually playing my star, being who I am, and starting to realize, like, yeah, a lot of these guys, they really got some hate for you, bro. Just on you, just being yourself. How do I know that? I seen a Puerto Rican guy, just a couple of days back ago, complimented. What I've been noticing with a lot of people is that when I compliment people, they usually turn into an enemy. Damn! I don't know why, though. I feel like that's my way of myself revealing who's the enemy. Most of the people, I'm trying to tell you, most of the people I give compliments to, they turn into an enemy. And you would be thinking like, how the fuck someone turn into an enemy and you giving them compliments? You got to understand that whenever you give off a compliment, right, you're actually trying to heighten the energy that's within them. The reason why they're getting upset is because they're like, I'm trying to keep myself down and you trying to keep me up. You understand? That's their concept. Okay? They're looking at it as they're trying to keep their self down and you're keeping yourself up. Do you understand in the physical, in the spiritual realm, right? Everyone operates with some type of form of energy. You got to understand you have low tech forms of energy, like some people call demons, that get stepped on by the gods. All demons get stepped on by the gods. Understand that? All demons are afraid of real God. Always know that. Understand that? All right. So what you got to understand is that in the spiritual standpoints, right? You have people that, right? They operate with, I call it low tech energy. Some people say low energy, right? Even Trump say the same shit. He's like, they're low energy. It's kind of brazy that he says stuff like that, right? Right? What you got to understand that when someone is operating in a low energy force field, your force field is surpassing their force field. Let me show you what I mean, right? One time I was talking to, I think she was I want to say she was a black woman, right? One day I was talking to her, and I pulled up to her on movies inside of Walmart, right? You got to understand that a lot of people in today's world that are AIs, they don't understand what approachment is. They have lost their full connection. I'm so happy though at the same time, okay? Because I'm still connected to myself. So they showing me what not to become. That's how I'm looking at it, okay? So I pulled up to her, whatever the case may be, and I said to her, I said, hey, let me ask you, I wanna, I wanna get to talk to you and shit like that. So I get to talk to her, whatever the case may be. I'm like, how you doing? This, and the third. My name's such, this, and the third. I do this, and the third, such. And as I'm talking to her, it's actually my child self that's talking to her. Okay? And just joyful. So what ended up happening was in that situation is that she decided to say, she was like, oh, I was like, what's wrong? You okay? She was like, no, it's the energy. I was like, hold on. I have my own energy force field and it's very strong, right? Um, am I making you feel bad or anything like that? She was like, no. I was just like, what it is my energy force field. Is basically consuming your force field. That's how big it is. That's why the lady, she was like, oh, I feel that energy. I'm like, are you okay? Am I hurting you in any type of way? She was like, no, you're not hurting me. I was like, it's just my energy. You understand? She was like, oh, okay, I get it. She was like, cause I feel it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not here to hurt you or anything like that. I was like, do you see me trying to hurt you? She was like, nah. I was like, what it is her energy is not as big as my energy. So my energy is pretty much consuming her energy. And she feels that because she's like, your energy force field is so big, right? So I said to the sister, I said, this is what I said to her. I said, look, right, if you feel any type of way, I'll walk away. You know what I mean? I don't want to make you feel any type of way. She was like, no, you okay. You're right. You can keep on talking to me, right? Now, that's the thing. The conversation was going good, but I wanted to see the direction of where her mind was at. I wanted to see if her mind was in the past or in the past with herself, or if her mind is in the future. This is what I did. I naturally asked her, for a number of what the case would be. She was like, I'm be honest with you, you cool? She's like, but I can't do that. I was like, what? Why? What happened? What's going on? She was like, I was with a guy. Pay attention. She's talking about her past. Pay attention to what you're doing to yourself right now. I'm going to take it slow. I am the future in front of you, right? That can give you new memories in order to deliver your mind from the past of the other guy. Okay? Let me show you what happens. Once you install the past in women and men, usually the technology of the mind is going to reject the future. I'll show you what's going on. Pay attention to the setup. Okay? So what happens is, I'm the future, right? She is talking about a guy in the past. So the mind right now is in the past. It's not in the present moment of who's in front of her, and it's not leading itself to the future. So let me show you what's going on. What's going on is the future is approaching you, right? And the future is like, hey, you know what I mean? I want to give you better memories. I want to see you better, right? Usually, if you inject the past into people, they're going to reject the future of themselves. Let me show you. I told the woman, I was like, yeah, you know, this conversation going great, girl. I was like, I want to continue this a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? Let me get your number. She was like, unfortunately, I can't do that. I was like, why? What's going on? She was like, I met another guy in my past, and he kind of did some things to me, and that kind of led me not want to really, not date. What happened is the man that she's with still has control over her mind. And I can't say he's doing anything wrong. I can't. Because you won't let go the memories of him in order to acquire new memories for yourself. So everyone that does that, I'm not saying you're doing anything wrong in the game because they are still giving their minds to the past in order for those people in the past to have control over their future. Me, me personally, I would not copy that. I'm all right. But I learned something from that black woman because she did say directly, she was like, you a cool dude or whatever the case may be. She was just like, the guy that was in the past. So I'm like, she's stuck on the memories of the past. That's great because what she's going to do is deny the future of herself. Pay attention. When you deny the future of yourself, it comes down to characteristics that you copy and paste in your own mind. It don't have nothing to do with me, baby. It don't. I know you thinking in your head like every man is the same. You did not date every man upon this earth, so you don't know if they're the same. Understand that majority of women, you date most guys that are in your environment. Let's just go pay attention to the hood and what type of sons are created in the hood. Think about it. If you are a black mother, right, and you all are black mothers, and all of you doing is projecting information and data inside your sons in order to make them into lunatics, what the fuck you think your daughters is gonna be dating in the future? Thank you. What the fuck? That shit funny. Like, it's just like someone. It's just like today. The black woman would say, "There is no good men because you destroyed all your sons." You didn't remember that part. You didn't remember that part. You didn't remember the part where basically, right? Let's get into this, or whatever the case may be, about the black nation when it comes to their children, especially the mother, right? When it comes to the mother, I want you to pay attention to mothers that they weren't born with or they wanted to reject structure in their homes. Okay? Always pay attention to a mother, and I would say this to guys, okay? If you ever have a mother, right, and she already got kids and maybe you are maybe dating her, you need to ask her, can I ask you a question? Is any of your children on Social Security? And then you need to ask her a further question. Why are your children on Social Security? And then what you need to do is you need to go inside the bathroom and see if she has any medications that are modifications to the technology of her children's mind that are called Ritalin. Okay? You need to pay attention to that, sir. That way you can understand what's going on. Okay? So, as black mothers, right? A lot of black mothers don't like to talk about this, and a lot of black mothers they feel bad when you reveal it to other nations, okay? So as black mothers, these are the things that they have done that I can speak about as a son, okay? These are the things that black mothers do. My mother, right, she was married to my father, right? She basically didn't want to be married to my father no more because she felt like economically he pretty much just running everything. Thank you. Right? So what ended up happening was she ended up, breaking up with him or whatever the case may be. Right? And what ended up happening in that situation was when you have just one parent in a household, the income is going to be limited. So I would say to black women, y'all did yourselves a good favor by just putting one income in a household and having 7 babies. I agree with you, sister. I agree with you. You so smart. You was a smart woman. You know that? I just want to let you know that. You was smart, girl. 7 kids inside the household and 1 income. Black women is smart as fuck. They some smart motherfuckers. 7 kids, 1 income. Baby, you ain't gonna struggle. Baby, you're not struggling. You're not struggling, baby. You got 7 kids and 1 income, right? That is a great deed that you do. You got to do that more often, baby. You got to, like, every black woman, all I want you to do is have 7 kids and get 1 income and put the bonnet on your head, baby. I love you that way. No, I'm bigging you up, baby. What? I'm not like the other niggas telling you, oh, you ain't supposed to be doing that. I'm bigging you up. I'm telling the black woman, like, yeah, baby, right here. Come here, baby. Listen, you be a baby mother. I love you for being a baby mother. I don't love you for being a wife. Hell no. I want you to have 7 kids by 7 different men. I love you when you do that shit. You know what the fuck I'm talking about? And then also, I want you to sell out your kids and shit. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What? 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 Everybody looking at me all brazy and shit like, what's wrong? What? I'm just telling you what I like about her. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't date her now. I don't have no kids by her now. Okay? Just because I'm telling her that shit and I'm liking it, it don't mean that I would like it for myself. I just like watching this shit. God damn. What? I just like watching it. I'd be like, come here, baby. What you got on your head? She be like, I got a bonnet on top of my head. I'd be like, that's good, girl. What else you got inside of there? I got 1 income and I got 7 kids. I'd be like, black woman, you doing right. You doing right, black woman. That's what I'm talking about. 7 kids, 1 income. Fuck that nigga. I love you, black woman. Swear to God, your self-destructive skills is brazy. But I love them though. I do. You know I love you and your big ass bonnet that's on top of your head, black woman. You know that shit. I love when you have 7 kids by 7 different men too. I love when you do that shit. I do, girl. I ain't got nothing to complain about that, baby. You doing what you only know. Okay? That's what your mama taught you, right? As a daughter. You just repeating what she told you. That's it. You know, keeping over the fuck over your family line. Right? Right? Uh-huh. I tell you all the time, baby, I love you. I don't hate you, baby. I think the black woman think I hate her because she's like, why you don't never date me? I'd be like, I do date you, baby. On every date, right? I'm watching what you doing against yourself. What? What? Oh, don't get mad at me, girl. Okay? All right, whatever the case may be. I don't know what the fuck they talking about anyways. Right? So, you know what I mean? That's just that shit. On to the next.